Many years ago, a friend of mine and I went down to visit his brother who lived about an hour away. And his brother was about 10 years older than us, had a family. And we found ourselves at the end of our visit standing out in front of his house close to a wood pile. Now, Carl, my friend's brother, had a pit bulldog. And this was a beautiful dog. The musculature in it was just fantastic. And he was taking chunks of firewood and he would throw them out in the wood, out in the yard, and this bulldog would go and latch onto him and bring them back, and Carl kept throwing bigger and bigger chunks out there just to see what this dog could get a hold of. And finally, after this dog had handled every challenge that Carl had thrown out there, Carl spotted a sledgehammer leaning up against a woodpile. And he looked at us and said, "Watch this." And he took this sledgehammer. Now, this sledgehammer wasn't an ordinary sledgehammer. This sledgehammer had a metal handle that was welded into the head. So I don't know what this thing weighed, 20 pounds? I don't know. But Carl reared back, grabbed the end of that sledgehammer, and tossed it out into the yard. And that bulldog took off. That bulldog went over and latched onto that handle like he knew what he was doing. And he picked that hammer up. And I thought, well, heck, this dog's amazing. It's not going to have any trouble with this. And he dropped it. Came right out of his jaws. I thought, this may be interesting. The dog latched onto it again, picked it up again, took another step, dropped it. This time, the dog did something I didn't expect. He backed up and started growling and barking in frustration at this sledgehammer. And then he circled this sledgehammer slowly, just growling at it and barking at it. And after about 90 seconds, you could just see calm and clarity come over this bulldog. And he paused. He put his jaws right in the perfect spot on this metal handle of that sledgehammer, picked it up with all his musculature, and trotted right back to Carl with it and dropped it. You know, life isn't about winning every victory for you and I. You know, sometimes we have a problem and we just can't seem to solve it. We just can't seem to solve it. But the key is not giving up, not quitting. You know, I had a family member go through something recently, and they had a lot of trouble getting started on this venture. And people were going, well, maybe that's God's way of telling you that you don't need to do this. And I said, no. How do we know this isn't life's way of testing them to see how bad they want to do it? Guys, I don't know the answer to that. But I'll tell you, I know quitting and giving up is not the answer. That's for sure. Sometimes we got to step back at a problem and growl and bark. And then, after studying it and walking around it, we get a moment of clarity and we get it figured out. Hasn't that happened to you and other things in your life? Don't give up on your problems. Don't give up on your dreams. Have an awesome rest of the day.